Hey guys, welcome back. My name is Alex. I'm a guitarist based here in the UK. And on this channel we talk about guitar technique, guitar chops and gear reviews. And if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button to stay tuned for more. Today we are talking about seventh arpeggios, okay? Or more importantly, seventh sounds, dominant seventh sounds. Okay, the arpeggio is a great way to outline the sound. It's probably the strongest way to outline the sound. So please bear that in mind throughout this lesson. And also bear in mind that I don't think you should look at dominant seventh chords, arpeggios, whatever, as dominant sevenths. I think you should think of them as a sound, as a mood, as an emotion, as a feeling, okay? If you connect emotionally to the music, okay, you are going to get a better grasp of how to be musical, okay? Now, something I would like to mention. You can get a lot of mileage out of seventh chords, seventh arpeggios, because they are very closely related to the major pentatonic and the minor pentatonic. A dominant sound sits somewhere in between a major sound and a minor sound, okay? For a dominant chord, we have the root, we have the major third, the fifth, and the flat seventh, okay? So a minor sound would have the root, fifth, and flat seventh, okay? And a major sound would have a root, third, and fifth, okay? So this ties directly into our major and minor scales. So you can get a lot of mileage out of dominant sounds. So let's take a look. The first thing I want to look at is the chords. I personally think the chords are the most important part of this whole process, because if you can learn the shapes, okay, and visualize the shapes, if you play the tones from those shapes, okay, you are automatically going to get a dominant sound. So that is step one. So let's take a look at those. 2, 3, 4. Now we have the chords, we want to actually learn the arpeggio shapes, okay? So the arpeggios are going to directly overlap the chords, and that is key. I really want you to start thinking of these arpeggios as overlapping the chords. So let's have a look at these arpeggios. 2, 3, 4. So we have 5 chords down and we have 5 arpeggios down, okay? These are being taken from the cage shape, but I'm not really thinking of the cage system. I am just thinking of how can I get this sound all over the neck. And it just so happens that the cage system is quite an effective way of doing that. So now you have both. I want you to put both together. Okay, I want you to play the chord first and then the arpeggio, okay, because I want you to get that connection between the chord and the arpeggio down. So let's take a look at this. 2, 3, 4. So we've got all of that down. We've got the actual physical sort of shapes down on the guitar. Now we want to create music. So I think the best way to make music on the guitar is to try and relate things to the minor pentatonic scale. The minor pentatonic scale has so much music in it, and you're probably very familiar with lots of licks utilizing the minor pentatonic scale. So you've already got music in the minor pentatonic scale. Why not expand on the music you already know? So let's take a look at how these minor pentatonic shapes lap over the chords. Okay, so now we've got all of our shapes and theory and things like that down, it's time to make some music. Okay, so I'm going to take a solo and I'm going to put all of this together. I'm going to try and move shape by shape. So it might sound a little bit like I'm moving shape by shape. I wouldn't usually do this in a musical scenario. It's just so you guys can see how I am implementing pentatonic licks with dominant seventh arpeggios all the way through the shapes. Okay, I am primarily thinking of the minor pentatonic. Okay, and then I am just thinking, how can I incorporate some of the notes of the dominant seventh arpeggios in there? So here we go. Okay guys, there we have it. I think that's quite an easy way of getting these dominant sounds together. Remember, they are sounds. It's a sound. Okay, really connect to that sound. If you want to develop this further, go step by step through this video in a practice routine. Okay, so your practice routine could be chords, okay, and then the arpeggios, and then the chords and arpeggios together, and then the chords and pentatonics together, or even better, chords, pentatonics, arpeggios, okay? And then once you've practiced all these shapes and you're getting this familiar, these familiar patterns under your fingers, then go on to trying to make music. Always try and make music with a pulse, okay? Preferably a metronome or a backing track. Really, you should do it with a metronome before you go onto a backing track, okay, but try and do it with a pulse. Work on your feel and your flow. That is how you get this stuff cooking, okay? If you enjoyed that, don't forget to like, subscribe, and as always, I will be back next week to help you transform your playing. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed that, please consider checking out this video right here. Thanks again.